Hey YouTube, just one here. Just gonna go over all the bits and pieces that you get, all the accessories. Now first up we have the famous sonic screwdriver that the Doctor always used. It's not too bad in the detail area. I mean, there wasn't a lot to it anyway, but yeah, very nice. This is the original hair, that very detailed hair that Tom Baker was famous for. His crazy hair. This has probably got a little bit more locks in it than what he usually has, but it's still effective. And this is the original hair that comes with the in the box when you get him. I'll get to the hat and the hair later. This is the key to the time and time tracer. Now here's the key, which is pretty basic as well. Would have been good if they had a light up feature, then you could have stuck it in the middle and it would have lit up inside. That would have been fantastic. But we have the cube here, the cube which represents the universe, and I believe there was 6 pieces that they had to collect in a show. This is going back a long time, so my memory of this actual event or this series is very, very vague. But this, yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, I just wish it didn't have those air bubbles inside of it. Okay, the Hand of Fear, which was another episode which the detail is not too bad. This was I think it was like a stone piece that they found in the dirt. That I can't really remember either the history of that. I have to go back over my shows and rewatch them. But this, I know it's from the show The Hand of Fear, and that's the hand. Not a bad little extra. This is what I really love. The jelly babies. The paper bag of jelly babies. He always carried in his left pocket. Always carried him, and was always offering people his jelly babies. So this is a really good piece. Just this alone, having the jelly babies is fantastic. Also another novelty piece that has got a string. It's a yo-yo, which he loved to muck around with in some of his episodes. Now, moving along, we'll just show you the different sets of hands. This is just like a cup hand on the right hand, very similar to the one he's got now on the left hand that holds the jelly babies. A paused, like a closed-in paused type hand to hold the sonic screwdriver. We have 2 relaxed hands, very suitable to putting in his pockets. I assume he was always had his hands in his pockets. His yo-yo finger, very rubbery, these hands. They don't require heating. I'm not sure of what the life would be like on these over a period of time, but as long as you keep them out of the sun, direct sun, I suppose they'd be okay. And we have just an open hand. Just an open hand. Okay, that's all the hands plus the 2 that he's got on, and I'll show you them in a minute. Ankle pegs, wrist pegs. They look very very flimsy, so I'd be very careful handling these. They're not the typical Hot Toys type. They're very, I know, there's just something about them that just looks a bit delicate. Okay, now I'll just move this a little closer. Here we have a switch at the back here that lights up. It's very effective. It's like a mirror base, and I would have liked to have the Doctor Who. Oops, sorry about that. I would have liked to have had Doctor Who in the front, but the light up feature is a Gallifreyan symbol that says number 4, I think, or the 4th Doctor or something like that. But it's still, yeah, it looks effective, so I like it. Now we have the detailed shoes that the Doctor has here. Is not too bad. I would have liked socks, you know, and he does have some sort of undergarment or undercloth that covers the joints, I suppose. I'm not too sure, but yes. And I would say the ankles are coming out the shoes, but the ankles are part of the shoe. He doesn't have feet, but I still like the look of the shoes. They're very the classical old style shoe that he wore, and along with his pants as well, which I'll just take her up a bit. They're very like thick corded type pants. They don't fit the body really well. I would have liked a little bit baggier pants, but for what they are and how they look, they definitely look like the Doctor's pants that he wore. Okay. Now the top. The top is quite a nice looking top. It's not wide in any way, it's just loose, sort of got that velvet sort of feel to it, but it's not. It looks really impressive at the back, where it's got all the pleats and the creases and the lines that go up the center and the sides here to make his coat look really complete. I think it looks fantastic, you know. It fits him really well. It's just exactly what the Doctor wore. His waistcoat is the same, you know. It's very good fitting. It does have buttons, press stud buttons, and later on I'll get this coat off and show you him without the coat. Now this is the Doctor's face. He looks, I'll just give you a bit of a zoom up there. He's got a specific frown to his face, a glare almost, and trust me, if you know the Doctor, Tom Baker as the Doctor, the 4th Doctor, he does have that sort of glare sometimes. He stares straight at you, like he's like glassy eyed. Just going to give you a nice close up of his fedora hat. Always wore it, always dropped it. And I don't know how many times Tom would have tripped over his scarf too, because it was always dangling around his ankles. Becoming an expert in scarves after he'd finished. Yeah, certain angles just really does it, like there. His face sculpting, they've got the nose down pat. Just certain angles, right. Perfect. Okay, let's get his coat off. Okay, I've got his coat off. Just a quick shot of him with his yo-yo hanging from his hand. Once you take his coat off, you probably just want to lift the collar up a bit just to show his tie, and he does come also complete with his suspender belts. You can just see them under there. So everything's there, guys.
Got his other
everything's
set of
there.
hair on without the hat.
I much prefer the hat. I just prefer to have the hat. So would have liked to have an extra hat, a loose hat, which he could just hold in his hands for extra posing. But that's okay. This is what he looks like without his hair on. Very simple. Just got his red sideburns, and then you slip the hair on. Simple, very simple. And it's a good fit too. Okay, one more pose. And of course the scarf. The scarf was a very long scarf. It always dragged along the ground. I think it should have been a little bit longer, but you know, but for what it is, I'm happy. I'm accepting it as for what it is. It would have been good if it was more like a knitted type material, like his pants. The scarf was a knitted scarf, but it's acceptable. And I love the ends, the frayed ends. I'm not too sure what you call them, but okay. Here's another paws type closed in gripping hand that grabs the sonic screwdriver like such. Very easy to put the accessories in these hands. They're very unusual hands, but yeah, I love them. I've got the background set for like the inside of the TARDIS, which is very effective. I like it. It's a good idea. I will eventually. I'm pretty sure that the company is going to make a TARDIS. Well, I'm hoping they do, and very much looking forward to getting some more extras to my collection of Doctor Who. There's just a cup hand here. That's just basically holding the jelly babies, which is like so. Would you like a jelly baby? Sarah. He used to roll his tongue when he used to talk to Sarah. Sarah. He was great. Yeah, really miss. I'm going to rewatch the whole 7 years worth of Tom Baker now and catch up with all the spooks that he used to do shows with. The Mummies and Davros, and the list goes on and on. To tell the truth, I didn't really proceed in watching Doctor Who after Tom Baker regenerated into another character. It was pretty much the end of my watching the Doctor Who series after Tom left, because he's such an inspiring actor to watch. Once he had left, it sort of left me in a hollow spot where I didn't want to continue on watching. So I really don't know. Steph Kitten, if you're listening, mate, this is the reason why I don't know who those other characters are that you're showing on your videos in the, I assume, the Doctor Who collection. So yes, pretty much after Tom left, that was it for me. I closed shop. So I'm really happy to have this as one of my 1/6 collection. I'm over the moon, to tell the truth. It's just, as a child growing up from what was I, something like 6 years old to 13 years old, or something like that. 7 years, I believe, of watching this particular Doctor. It's just having this figure in my collection and in my hand has fulfilled part of my desires of my collecting. Having this Doctor is just blowing me away. I'm going to sign out. Just show you once more all the goodies. And Say... Test this one out. Catch ya.